Good morning, everybody. Moodsports coming at you. Hump Day, Wednesday, August 29th, 2018. Going to get you your free pick of the day. Recap a little bit from yesterday. We're actually going to do a little bit of just some tip giving. Had a couple different customers ask if we can just start giving a few little just betting tips. So we're going to have a little bit of that and get you guys on your way. So here we go. Coming off of, honestly, a very similar day as yesterday. Almost honestly, a complete Groundhog Day. Went 3-2 on the day. We lost our free pick, we lost our top tier pick, and we won our other 3 premium picks. It is an absolute repeat from the day before, which once again, a little bit frustrating in the sense that, man, we're feeling good about things. Premium pick yesterday, we end up losing in the 9th inning. We have a under in that play. We've been playing a lot of the unders, but we have a 3-2 ball game, so a 5 total on an under 7 play going into the top of the 9th, and the Phillies can't with the closer and can't hold them out. So end up scoring 3. So that's back-to-back days in which we've lost games going into the last inning. A little bit frustrating on 2 unders, but we'll keep putting it out there. We'll keep making the right plays, and honestly, in the long run, things pay out. So I'm a big poker guy. Those of you guys that are poker fans that are along with us, the big thing that goes into poker is making the right play consistently, and it will work in the end. So if you are consistently putting yourself in the right place, making the right plays, the idea is that the payouts will come in the end. It takes time. But with that consistency that you will see, that you will reap the rewards in the end. So same thing kind of goes with sports betting. You've got to stick with your guns. Make sure that you're not going outside of what you guys have, or what you've set as your regulations, and really stick with what you're doing throughout a long period of time. So anyway, recap a couple other games yesterday. So yesterday we had like I said, we lost our free pick of the day also. In that game, we had the over. So really just did not go in our favor at all. So we had Felix Hernandez facing Knicks for the Padres. We had the over in that game, and it didn't even get close. Honestly, they kept getting out of some innings early. Felix Hernandez 2 times with runners on base, bunts into double plays. Just some stuff in which you're just going to end rallies and not put up runs. So I expected 2 pitchers who had not been pitching well come facing, honestly, a Mariners team that had been heating up, and then a Padres team that had been putting up runs, and they honestly didn't do much at all. So that was quite disappointing. So going into some other plays of the day, so we had the A's. So we actually had the A's on the money line, which had a great payout facing the Astros. Felt good about that. Charlie Morton coming off of some up and down outings, facing a good A's team, and really the payout price on it was great. So went after that one, took that one down. We also had the Red Sox in the run line. So took advantage of that game right there, and then finished it out the day with Giants and the D-backs in the under again. So both those teams not putting up runs. I've been making a little bit of money off of the Giants and their unders, but really just a play in which 2 teams don't have the best offense. Got some decent pitchers on the hill. Had Madison Bumgarner coming out for the Giants, and then took the under in that one. So one thing I've been getting a lot of questions about, I take a ton of unders, and people are asking why. So a couple of things that go into that. So if you look at the statistics for the season, I'm not going to list off the teams, but there are only 10 teams that on a consistent basis, so over 50% of the time, actually cover the over. One thing about the under-over in baseball, it is one of those bets in which sports fans don't like to take because there's no time limit. So the game never ends. You never feel like the game is over. You don't ever have anything in the bag. It's never one of those plays in which halfway through the game you have it won and you can just go home and say, okay, good, I got my money. So a lot of people don't like to take it, which plays into the benefit of a bettor. Because odds aren't made based on the fact of trying to be 50%. They're also made based on the fact of where the money is going to be laid, based on the sharps as well as the average bettor that's out there. So a lot kind of goes into that, but just know I'd like you guys to do a little research on the over-under. But throughout the season, we have 10 out of the total teams that are making the over on a over 50% basis. So, and that is consistent, honestly, year in and year out, where the under plays more often. For some reason, sports bettors don't like to take it. I love looking for underlines and taking advantage of that play. So that's something that I like to do. I'm a big under fan. I really like to look for a couple aces on the hill getting after it. Because obviously the money on the average bettor does not like to take that play, and I'll take advantage of it. So a couple other different things. So we'll talk about line shopping. I put out my lines every day. I put the exact total in which they are going to pay out. Now I just want to let you guys know I pull those all from one site. Not going to say exactly what that is because I don't pay them, they don't pay me. But I pull it from one site to just be consistent. But what I would suggest, this is called line shopping for some of you average fans, but I would look to get with a few different either websites or different people that are going to take your bets and really shop your lines. So let's say a play like today that we're going to get into for our free play is the Astros on a run line at plus 130. Now, if I know I want to take the Astros on a run line, what I would suggest doing is look through a few different of your bookie services and figure out what the best line you're going to get at that. So if I'm going to get someone that's going to pay me a plus 120 and someone else is going to pay me a plus 130, obviously I've got to go with the plus 130 because over time that is going to pay back big dividends. So line shopping is very important. If you can get a few different accounts with a few different services, I would suggest that because in the long run it will pay big dividends. One more different thing I kind of want to talk about just very briefly is bankroll management. So I won't go into it in detail. I want to go into a little bit more detail. But one thing about bankroll management is not putting all your bets out at one time and really minimizing your bets and being very strategic with how you place them. So we're going to go into bankroll management tomorrow and kind of give you a little bit more details on that. But really the idea behind it is trying to protect your money, make your money have the best chance of gaining value back over the course of the year with putting it at the least amount of risk. So we'll talk a little bit about bankroll management. Anyway, go into play of today. Now, one thing I want to get into real quickly, and this kind of goes into line shopping before we get into the play of the day, is to be 100% transparent, we have lost our last 5 plays of the day. That is not acceptable. Before that, we hadn't lost in 10 straight, which doesn't, that's not an average, that's not normal either. But really kind of went on 2 different runs, and that's not how I like to be. I like to be consistent. So a couple different things might play into that. I have been playing a few different extra games. Today I'm going to go a little bit lighter. I'm only going to get you your 1 top tier pick, 1 premium, and your free pick. But a little bit more could play into that also. So here's a couple different things. I do not take an easy line. So a lot of times I'll see these free picks come out. They're sitting at minus 150, minus 170, minus 180. You have a stud on the hill facing a poor pitcher, and you're just taking the line. And yes, it adds a win to the win column. So when you look at your daily free totals, it adds a win, but it does not pay out over the long run. You've got to win anywhere into that 75% of the range of those bets, 75, 80% to get your payback in the long run, which is why I really don't make my money going after those plays. And if you notice, on a day in and day out basis, so in our last 5, we've lost all 5, but we're taking minus 110s, plus even. We had a plus 150 line the other day. We are not scared to go after the money where we think it should be made. So I want to make sure I put that out there because I'm not going to come around because I've lost 5 in a row and take David Price today paying out a minus 180 because that's not what we do here. We try to get the money, or we try to put the bet on the place where we think we have the best chance to get the money back on. So that will go into my play of today. So we have the Astros, and we are taking the run line. Okay, so here's the deal. So we have the Astros coming in. They are getting healthy. They're going to start making a playoff run, facing a good A's team that has overachieved all year long. And honestly, I think it's to the point where they're going to start to fall off. Trevor Cahill, talk about overachieving. He has had a career year in which he is starting to finally fall back a little bit. So on the year, 5-3, 3.44 ERA. but in the last 3 dropped off a little bit, 1-1 with a 4.86 ERA, and is finally starting to see a little bit of declines. He's facing a Dallas Keuchel that honestly has been pretty darn good after the All-Star break. So sub 3 ERA after the All-Star break. Hasn't pitched as well as years past, as he's been excellent, but still doing what he needs to do to be successful. So money line comes out sitting at minus 155. Now that to me is not worth the money facing a good A's team at the minus 155. Now if I give the run line, so I'm giving 1.5 runs, which I feel confident with the Astros that are a team that's putting up runs, averaging 6.6 runs the last 5 games of the season. I want to take that plus 130, and I'm willing to take that risk. We're going from a minus 155 to a plus 130, which is a huge increase in your payout when you're talking about long-term gains. So anyway, that is the play we're making today. I want you guys to make sure that you guys know I'm being transparent with all my picks. I'm not trying to undercut it. I'm not trying to make fake records. We tell it how it is here at Moodsports, and we try to make you guys the money the best way that we can. So here's the deal. Moodsports, we are coming back. We are getting back on board. Today is going to be the day we crush it. 3-2 records are not acceptable. I got 3 plays coming out today, and we are going to go 3-0. I will see you guys tomorrow and check in on that 3-0 record. Moodsports.